Mic'd up.
Boys and girls, children of all ages, act like you know it's going down. I'm your captain.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming to Yankees Coast to Coast, all 1.3 of you. It's Michael Miller and me, Adam Schneider, here to
Get your name?
share. Adam the
Yeah. So the next guy up is now we get to the infielders, the traditional second base, shortstop, third base. And just so you know, I didn't give DJ a grade 1, he's gone. Didn't give Cabrera a grade, he's out for the season. I didn't give Vivas or Reyes a grade because why bother? Neither one of them should be on the team, and neither one has played enough anyhow. But we'll start with Jazz. Jazz is up to 250 now after being much lower. I didn't know Jazz's on base was as high as a 348. Surprised the hell out of me. I didn't think it was that high. He's got a 513 slugging and an 861 OPS, which puts him at 137 OPS plus. His WAR is 2.7, and his defense is 0.1 in the positive at both second base and third base. His strikeout rate, though, is at 26.9%, and his walk rate's at 11.8. He missed a month, and he's only 10 for 14 stealing. And I think one of the reasons he's not running is because I think that would really hurt his shoulder because he doesn't slide feet first. He slides head first. And what surprised me is that his splits against lefties were pretty bad with a 619 OPS. But his home and away splits are incredible. His home OPS is 1031. I did not realize how much he benefits. He's hitting 308 in Yankee Stadium. The guy loves to play at the stadium in front of the home crowd. It's pretty impressive. So I gave Jazz a B trending towards B plus. And the reason I didn't give him higher is because, he was striking out a ridiculous rate before he got hurt. And he did get hurt. And while I know you can't be replaced when you get hurt, I hold it against the guy for getting hurt. And that strikeout rate is still too high, and that's preventing him from being as good a player as I think he can be. But he does bring something to the table, an energy to the team that, you would have hoped a guy like Volpe could bring to them, but he doesn't. So I gave Jazz a B, and I think that he's trending higher.
Yeah, I would say he is ever since this 70% thing.
That's why I only hit 3 home runs in the Derby.
Well, did I say that to you? I think I might have mentioned.
I'm glad he did.
Because I knew that he would be done. I still think his ego is now, on another planet. He's still going to try to hit home runs next week. He's going to come home tomorrow. He's going to swing from the heels again. My problem with him, as it always has been, is that he is two different players. He's a very talented, spectacular player when he wants to play a baseball, and then he's a real butthead when he wants to be like, the game. He wants to be Aaron Judge. And as long as he starts playing that game where he thinks he can hit home runs at that level, he's not going to do well.
Well, that's why he's trending up, as he hasn't been doing that. I find that.
Yeah. The strikeout rates are troubling. He should be getting balls on the ground and using his legs wherever possible, and he's not.
I think you're really minimizing what he's been since he's got back, where he's been hitting like 320. So, before the injury, he was a completely different player. I think after the injury, he's been out. Let's see what he is after the All-Star break. But that's why I think he's trending up, and he's now moving to a more comfortable position defensively, unlike other players around Major League Baseball. Devers, Gleyber Torres, and a bunch of other guys. He's willing to go to a place that, I just want to play. All right, third base. Yeah, I'd rather play second, but I'll play third. You got to give the guy some credit for that. He's playing in a place that he's not that comfortable. But I do agree, his defense at third base was starting to go in the wrong direction. I do think it was arm related. Hopefully it doesn't impact him as much at second base. So far, so good.
Yeah.
I just don't like the fact he stopped running. And when we get to Boone and grading Boone, I'll tell you, Boone, is he to blame for him not running, or is Jazz's shoulder the reason he's not running? I'd like Boone that's one of my criticisms of Boone when we go forward. And then next up is another show that we listen to is doing a show tomorrow. But they're saying Volpe's a bum. Quite frankly, I don't know if he's a bum. I don't know if he's a bum, but at 214 batting average, a 287 on base, 384 slugging, a 455 OPS. 348.
671 OPS.
671 OPS, which is 86th in the league, OPS plus. And then what's really amazing to me is I started looking at his splits. He's hitting 186 against righties. He's got a 262 on base percentage against righties and a 355 slug. I'm sorry. That's horrible. I mean, he can't hit right-handed pitching. It goes back to the fact he has his ass in the dugout.
Can I just, this is something that's bothering me a lot. Why are right-handed hitters? I've always understood why lefties have a hard time against left-handed pitchers. There aren't that many, or there weren't historically that many, especially in the minor leagues and in high school. Coming up, there aren't that many lefties. So left-handed hitters definitely have a disadvantage against a left-handed pitcher. They have a great advantage against the right-hander because they've done most of their hitting against them, and they have an advantage because of the way the ball comes to them, the way they see it. I don't get why right-handed hitters have a problem against right-handed pitchers. They have been playing against right-handed pitchers their entire life, and the vast majority of their bats should be against right-handed batters.
Because
why can't they hit?
Well, in Volpe's case, Volpe is the guy who steps in the bucket. And if a right-handed pitcher is throwing a pitch that's breaking away from him, which is what most right-handed breaking pitches do, he's not going to be able to reach the pitch that's on the outer half of the plate. Whereas if a left-handed pitcher makes a mistake against him and puts the ball toward the inside part of the plate because it broke more than he wanted to and came across home plate, he's going to be able to hit it. But Volpe, I mean, we've been saying this for 2 years. You can't hit consistently if your ass is in the third base dugout as a right-handed hitter. Jeff Nelson's gotten on his case. Paul, to a lesser extent, Paul O'Neill's gotten on his case. What's the other guy's name? Third baseman. Frazier has really gotten on his case about the way he's and Frazier's a guy who stepped in the bucket massively. And they started to get on his case about it. And quite frankly, it's horrendous. Yeah. His stolen base percentage at 58.8%.
Terrible.
Goodness, is that horrible? That's just ridiculously disgusting.
And he's top 28% in the, or he's 79% in the in sprint speed. He's very fast.
And his strikeout rate is 23.7%, which is horrendous for a guy who shouldn't be striking out that much and should be trying to make contact. And he's only got an 8.9% walk rate. It's just horrendous. He is an F offensively for the Yankees.
Somebody's
got to explain how does he have 49 RBIs? It's amazing. That's his only saving grace is somehow or other he is one of the guys when there's guys on base does make contact, I guess.
But there are also a lot of people who will tell you, and a lot of times where he didn't come through. He's been a lot of runners on base.
He's batting very high in the number for the longest time. The other day he hit 3 RBIs without a hit.
He just seems to have a lot of bats. He gets up with guys, and he's kind of like Sal on our baseball team. Sal seems to get up every time. There's always lots of guys on base where he's batting in the order, and it puts stress on you. And I don't know if this guy can handle it. I don't see it.
Sal can handle it because Sal's one tough mother.
Now sounds a tough mofo, but his game, looking at his rankings, are just terrible. He is not a major league player right now, and this is really bad. He is now playing an elite position for an elite team, with an amazing history, and he absolutely has to be better than this. And I think that they're messing him up because I don't think that they're coaching him right. I don't think that they're managing him right. I think that this guy his head is all out of whack for a lot of reasons. First of all, he's buying all the crap. He's probably reading the news, hearing it. He's hearing the hate, And
the hate hasn't been coming after him except for the last 2 weeks. It's finally come down on.
But it's exploding because they can't why can't this guy do? And really, what he should be doing is playing elite defense. And the fact he was getting a lot of love because he was young and they felt that he came up a little too soon. But he's also playing a great shortstop the last 2 years, and this year he has really regressed.
He wasn't that
A
good
lot
last
of
year. Wasn't that good at shortstop last year either, especially in the second half. But at this point in time, if the Mets could send down their prize catcher, but they have a guy in Terens that they feel confident can, hold the fort down
Well,
for a couple of weeks.
The Yankees will have somebody. The question is next year, and that's
Well,
the big issue.
my thinking is this: is Volpe's on the team? He's not getting traded. There's nobody to replace him. He's not getting traded. They shouldn't trade him because they can't replace him, which is another reason why they can't send him down. But I will say this: there is a team they should trade him to in the offseason because they have some young talent and they are desperate for a shortstop, and that's the Atlanta Braves.
Yeah.
But that's where he should end up next year. But anyhow, so I gave Volpe a D. Didn't fail him because he's got the 49 RBIs. I just couldn't fail a guy who's going to knock in the 85 runs, 90 runs during the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave him a D.
Yeah. I mean, I think a D is fair. He has to. The plan needs to be to completely revamp his approach to the plate and work on his swing. He has to
by the
stop
way, his hard hit rate this year is up from 35.7 in 24 to 42.2 in 25. So that goes to show you that hard hit rate is not a winner indicator of everything and its mother. Taking us back to the Rice Cup.
His hard hit rate is still below average. So I mean, he's right.
It's below average, but it's up, and his batting stats are way down. So that takes us to the other infielder who's played significant time, and right now is their starting third baseman, is our friend Peraza. Oswald Peraza.
Go ahead. Can I speak first about him?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I'm not going to give stats on this guy. I know that's your thing. My feeling on it is I don't give a darn. I'd say in the absence of somebody else, because that's it. I'm assuming now that they're not going to get somebody else. I feel they should bat him ninth and let him play. Tell him that they don't give a damn if he gets another hit all season. Teach him how to do two things: play third base well. We know he can do that, and focus on that, and teach him how to bunt. Let him go up there and learn how to get the bunt down, and maybe take a walk or two. Okay, take some pictures, and then if he strikes out looking, then that's fine. This thing that they're expecting this guy to be, to be Alex Rodriguez, is not going to happen. He's not a hitter, but what he is a great elite defender who can save runs. He's going to help Max Fried. If he helps Max Fried 3 times in a game that he plays, then that is a good thing. So,
absolutely.
Shut up and let him.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. The thing with me is that he's a 2.9 defensive WAR player, which is excellent for a guy who's played as little as he's played. You gotta love that. And he's 2.9 defensive run saves. He's a plus defender at third base. Obviously, he'd be even plus at shortstop because that's what he really is. What I just don't understand is the guy. Obviously he's got a 28 OPS plus. But in the minors, for all those years in the minors, he had 268, 347 with a 421 slug. He also, in the majors, he's 7 for 10 stealing. And in the minors, he was 156 for 192. And for the Yankees, he's not running. I mean, now he's not on base a lot, but when he's on base, he's got to be running.
And he's got elite speed. I mean, that's another thing. He's very
and he's a very good base runner. That's one of the things I didn't emphasize about Goldschmidt enough is how good a base runner is for a guy who's not fast. But Peraza is a good base runner. And that's the other thing with Volpe. He's not a smart base runner. I mean, he ran out of runs. He ran a single, tried to get a double on a ball. He had no business getting a double. And he makes those stupid plays at the infield that Boone makes excuses for him. So that's the Yankee infield. Obviously, that's a place that they're going to have to address. And I think as we get into the next show, we're going to have no choice but to talk about what the hell they're going to do with the trade deadline.